Sunrise, the Monday morning after Pentecost, almost 22 years ago. A scrubby second-floor apartment in Austin, Texas. A sunrise well-received, well-made for a new life. Baby days were here for us, and they would stay a while. The night hours had been moonless, humid, mournful, expectant. The vigil was the clock. The clock was the comings and goings of squeezings, flesh compressing flesh, body moving body, and my beautiful spouse, Jackie, of Hardy, Kansas stock, with her curly hair tied up warrior-like, and a mission to issue into the bright world a person. Just that. What else? Just one whole person. And isn't that enough? A few years later, we would discover to our great joy that two were even better, but one at a time, please. The night was done, and its squeezings were hard memories, but still just memories now, because we were all cresting. A gauzy orange light was filtering through the leaves of an east-facing crepe myrtle, standing guard outside our window. And now there was gentle talk in the air. The toughest advice she would ever get. But hear it she did. And with a splash and a cry, a whole person with much dark hair appeared, and we said hello. And I swear, he raised his left arm like a sort of, "Hey, what's going on?" It was a startling thing for a first-time parent, pink and hot and yawning in our arms. Jackie said, "What is it?" I reported in a trembling voice. "What a beautiful boy," she repeated. I held him unable to say anything except four words over and over. "I have a son. I have a son. I have a son." My heart was as big as the room that held us. My stomach was somewhere in the basement. My ego hovered over our building like the Goodyear blimp. I held my kids many times since that morning, usually in the stock still night, and the thought would sometimes arise like spontaneous prayer, this is what it's all about. Today there is a splash and a cry, and God's church is born anew. How many times now? None dare count. And the person of the Trinity we call Spirit is gratuitous, no, downright wasteful in the eagerness of her presence and love, as has been the case since before time, from the moment that the Spirit hovered over the waters of creation. We stand this morning on the shoulders of our ancestors who brought the first wheat of the harvest for the blessing of their increase at the Passover. And they called the end of the harvest the Pentecost. We stand on the shoulders of our father Moses, who brought 70 elders together and watched with astonishment as God's Spirit poured out upon those elders, who then spoke their words of counsel with total authority. We stand on the shoulders of the prophet Joel, who saw God heaping Spirit over all flesh, and who saw old men dreaming dreams of reconciliation and restoration. Stand on the shoulders of the believers huddled together in fear and prayer in some ramshackle room somewhere in Jerusalem, when the Spirit visited each of them and appeared with fire, and the memory of the language of their homes, and not one regarded another as a stranger. We stand on the shoulders of Peter, who walked out of that same meeting and who, with a word, turned 120 followers into 3,120. We stand on the shoulders of the patriarchs and matriarchs. Some names we know, most we don't. Their deeds were animated always by the same Spirit that animates us. And of course, we stand on the shoulders of Jesus, the one in whom all things are knit together, the one through whom we have this gracious Spirit. We, all of us, will emerge today newborn, held and caressed in loving arms. Like all children, the church will do well and change the world for good. It will also continue to make mistakes and be loved in spite of them. The main thing is to stop and to hear the voice in our midst, blowing its winds and starting its fires. It is saying, I have a child. I have a child.